Hi Taurus, welcome back for your May reading. This is for those of you who are on a soulmate twin flame path for looking at your connection. Now, if you are wanting to join the tribe at Yildiz readings, I do live sessions connected to anything in a sense of a download spiritually or get for the twin flame path. During that session, you're able to ask questions, anything that really is going on with your journey, and you can gain some insight, especially if you've got a burning question. So it is free. Join the tribe and come and have a look. I also do cover astrology, and I will be doing informative videos as well, but we'll get into the energy of your read for May. Now, last month we did have the transition of the Libran frequency. That was within the moon cycle, and I am going to be doing videos on moon cycles moving through each month. What I did find was from March during Mercury retrograde moving through till April, we had the Libran moon frequency. We had the full moon at 0 degrees, and then moving through, I believe it was near 24, 29 degrees, which was like ending of a cycle in the way we were relating to situations romantically. This could be a direct connection. It could be, coming in and out of union, reunion. Really changes and shifts within that paradigm and dynamic. Now, with your spiritual sense being activated with the planet Uranus, that is a huge transformation. And a lot of what's falling down and breaking away within your life is correlating, connected to your spiritual path and an aspect of ascension. The overall energy of what's coming through for you guys is an aspect of manifestation. Be really cautious about what you're thinking, especially moving through your journey spiritually. I am seeing by August there is a big change for you guys, and it's connected to something in a sense that you felt was not going to change, that you felt was the impossible turning to the possible. There is a lot of butterflies on the card, and I do feel 3 major transformations. This is going to be going on through the year for you guys. I also do feel it is going to be similar to a fairy tale. So be it your masculine or feminine, it's going to be that pretty story. It's going to be the pretty ending that you're wanting. There is a lot weighing in the mix of things, and I do feel on your mind you've got communication. I'm also seeing with the eyes in the picture, the colours coming through are relating to an upgrade of your chakra, but you're also prospectively seeing things overall in the connection in a different light and communicating your truth. The communication doesn't just have to come from that person or from you, but walking your truth, being your truth, seeing your truth through your own eyes for a change. Both of you are uniquely looking at this connection in a very in a changeable way. It's changing very quickly, even if you're not in direct communication. Your overall energy, although it is that the impossible is possible and the movement is moving forward through till August for you guys, it's an infinite connection. You're faced with some choices, but you do feel some of them are out of your hand due to lack of information and a family-related dynamic. You might be communicating about a family-related dynamic or having to deal with conflict very much connected in, and you're having to follow your intuition of how to proceed forward. This can be if you're leaving a karmic connection or you're directly dealing with karmic frequencies in general, but really having to look at your foundation of the way you're proceeding forward in this environment. I do see a lot of manifestation. So again, I will say, be very careful with being grounded in order to move forward and manifest this scenario in a very positive light. You might be feeling a little bit anxious. This chakra could also be lower or higher in activation. So if you are experiencing blockages and you're feeling some of the power is outside of you, hone it back in and do some meditation so that you can get to a point where you can actually manifest in a healthy format. A lot of times in the mirroring effect, our blockages are what directly correlate with what we directly attract. So once we come into that correct vibration of where we feel we would like to have things come towards us, this naturally flows with your counterpart's energy directly connected to you. I'm also feeling along the path, you may have in the past really felt blocked in a connection, and I feel this is very separate. This could have been in an environment, in a family-related dynamic or childhood. however you're proceeding forward, it has heightened your intuition when it comes to things, and you're fiercely protective. But you also could be fiercely protective due to a childhood dynamic, but that really is a lesson in itself. And some of this might be coming through where you feel there can be negative people around you, but you could be looking at the past in a sense that you were placed in an environment that felt toxic, but it did create the person you are today. You may be the light in the room with a lot of people that are operating from a lower frequency. That was really coming through last month as well. But I do feel in the back of your mind, this person can be observing you. So if you're not in communication, I do potentially feel whatever is going on in your life, this person is observing it or in an energetic field, interconnected. They vibrationally are either hearing through the grapevine or through your friendship circle, family, or on social media, but they are actually watching the transformation that's going on in your life. If they are with you, again, they are a standing observer and they're watching this transformation come through. And it's almost like the way you're coming through is having this inner knowing where this light is coming out and you're becoming yourself, and a lot of throat chakra is coming through. Again, I will say be very cautious about the way you do speak in May, but I feel your actions are speaking louder than words, because you've got the blue on the dress and you've got your clarification card as communication. Now, with the throat chakra, your actions, your body language is communicating and it's attracting things to it. So, you know, learn that we can attract, especially with your crowning energy being almost like the laws of attraction, things changing overnight, manifestations coming to fruition. Be super careful. In some way, you have this card in reverse, okay? Leading the way. Now, your clarification card, again, is base chakra. I am feeling there are a lot of things that goes into making this puzzle come together, and you're assessing that dynamic. You do want to leave the choppy waters and the craziness behind you. You do feel it feels like a farm. And it could just merely be animal totems coming to you, giving birds in particular, but really giving you downloads and messages very separately about your path and how to proceed forward. And it may be that spirit is really guiding you through this transformation, but you also may be visually seeing people's characteristics coming through, and you're not wanting to... Some of their path and the road they're going down, and this is very separate to your love interest. It could be external scenarios. They might be going by the wayside because you feel you can't lead them any longer. This could be children leaving the nest. But again, this is a gut instinct. There's a lot of yellow in the background, so you're really following your gut and you're not wanting to manifest or have these frequencies. So again, you're standing in your truth. Your body language is communicating a lot. So if you're getting frustrated with these people, I feel as though they are directly going to sense it. So if internally you have turmoil going on and frustration, you're not saying anything, but they're vibrationally feeling it. And I do feel potentially they're trying to trigger you. Again, an environment where you're not putting all your eggs in one basket, where you're being open to the reality that things do change. You're also dealing with two areas, and it's two individuals. You could be really feeling quite, no, I'm only really focusing on this and my partner or my love interest. And you have put your eggs in a basket, but you could be questioning whether this person has the ability to lead. You need to meditate on that a little bit longer. I do feel there's, even though you may be a feminine watching who is a Taurus, it feels there is a lot of masculine frequency coming through. This could be just because you're actually thinking about the masculine and wondering where their level of ascension is. Transformation, i.e., and if this even can change. Regardless, you could even be in a trigger mode coming through in a very masculine frequency because you're needing to deal with 3D tasks, which is very common. Try and balance both out. You know, we have the yin and the yang, so I am feeling as though there is a need for balance and detoxification with the crystal that I chose for you guys is amethyst. So a lot of detoxification of negative environments and negative belief systems. The energy of your soul vibration coming through, so your counterpart's energy. I feel they're wanting to take a leap of faith, okay? So they've got this card in reverse. They're not thinking, they're just going to jump in. And I do feel it's because they know. They just know what they're wanting. And I'm hearing where angels tread to fare. They know that this is a spiritual connection, but they know there is. They're very flexible. So you may be, it might be on your side that you're feeling unworthy, but you are trying to manifest it. They really, really do want to as well. Both of you have the same cards coming up in the same location, connected to the past. You know, maybe they didn't look before they leaped. Now they're in the mode where they are, to a point, they're open with their crown chakra and their third eye. So they're thinking quite a bit and they're more open than they used to be. They're imagining and manifesting. So, you know, both of you energetically are spiritually manifesting this. There could be a lot of chemistry. You know, even if you're not seeing each other, there's a lot of chemistry coming through. But there's a lot of self-worth energy. Not everything has a price, okay? Love is free. My love doesn't cost a thing. J-Lo. Don't know where that song come from. It's, you know, counterparts energy looking at Taurus is really thinking, look, not everything has to come at a cost. And I'm seeing the scales. I'm seeing the scales in a sense that they know what they are and aren't willing to do. They're more in their conscious body. They know what they don't have to make a choice of, okay? They know what's not theirs to manifest. They also know where in the heart some forgiveness is being worked on. So this could be a blockage that's coming up. It could potentially be a way of seeing things. And 9 times out of 10, when we have mindsets about things, we energetically attract lessons. So it's interesting that the energy between the both of you is an aspect of manifestation. So the energies can swap. We'll always say that. Be very cautious regardless. Both of you in dual energy are looking at things and there can be a heart-related blockage that, you know, when we're in an egoic mind, we're operating from our perspective, perception and, you know, what we feel we need in order to not deal with an aspect of adversity. When we're separate from that and we are empowered and enlightened, we understand that any aspect of a changeable situation is doable because we have the tools to deal with it. There may be a blockage where some healing emotionally is coming through, but I am feeling as though this is going to happen together. There is one energy on one side of the fence that is dealing with a heart-related dynamic, an emotional-related dynamic. I'm also hearing that somebody might have lost a person to a heart condition, or that was in the DNA, and there is a spiritual blockage that's being cleared. I do feel the person is being very hard on themselves, and this is a past tense frequency, but it's coming up into light. I also see a guide protecting you of a loved one who's passed over, trying to bridge the union. Taurus, you guys are having, again, a lot of chakra activations, and you might be moving through an aspect of fatigue last month, moving into this month and having your upgrade. Where again, it's heart chakra, being open to the process, being open to the transformation, birthing a new cycle. Again, it is feminine frequency, pain body experience, you know, the feminine aspect. Being an 11, yes, it is about having your awakening, but it also correlates with feminine frequency, moon energy, intuition. Keep shining, and I do feel, again, I'm hearing shine bright like a diamond. And there may be a lyric in the song that directly awakens you or gives you a message very separately. So those two songs that have come through. I do feel your counterpart's energy is having a burn off. Now, this can be within the Kundalini. It can also be within the energetic field. They're coming into duality. They're balancing both the masculine and feminine. Again, I'll say both energies swap, but it does end up becoming dual, especially when you're in a spiritual partnership. There also may be a transaction and of a passionate communication. This can be at a very intimate level, and it's going to blow you away. But it's also a burning off of the old frequency of the past to proceed forward. Now, what you're going to experience, May, is really, this is going to be a change overnight. And I feel it's within your emotional body experience, within your feminine, intuitive aspect of things, and really anchoring in and understanding your spirituality, what you want, what you don't want. But tuning more so into what you do want. You know, the more we tune into what we don't want, we need to rewrite it in what we will require. Require is a wrong word. It's not really, yeah. Let's just get on with it. You definitely, both of you are leaving the past behind, and there is chaos around you. It also may be conflict that you directly have to walk away from because it's toxic and heavy and it does look quite messy. You're not wanting to reflect on the past. You really know in order to move forward, being in the hangman position, only ever reflecting of the past is not manifesting the future. And it's interesting because, again, I did pick up a crystal, and although on the financial level with the jade, I'm also picking up heart chakra, and there is, with your final outcome cards, there is going to be a change overnight. Not looking back over old ground, not seeing this coming. By healing the heart chakra, understand that you can achieve anything you want. Now, I do feel this is within the frequency of Chiron with the lotus flower. Keep focusing on your dreams. Pain body experience takes us backwards because we do tend to tune into what we don't want. And when we tune into what we don't want, we directly manifest it. A lot of reflection going on. Not necessarily is there communication, but reflection. It may have been past tense communication. It's a very confusing time, but most of it is an egoic experience that's temporary. If you can work on those chakras, you can move yourself forward with this connection, and you can manifest it in much faster. But I'm feeling, due to the external situations going on, that's what's really hindering you guys. And you can energetically shift this in 48 hours. So if you can do the work on those blockages and release, you can actually shift and have your spiritual upgrade. And I do feel both energies are having an upgrade, because interestingly enough, Ascension and burn off of the Kundalini, and both are pretty much mirroring each other. There's the energy, and you're going to end up swapping and doing that. So you'll get really tired, you'll go through a purge, and then you'll upgrade, and the energy of who you are is interchanging. So your gifts, your manifestation, your intuition, all of those are having an upgrade. Your chakra activations, the opening of additional chakras are coming through. You may even bounce to the 11th. This can be on the 11th day or the 11th chakra. And it might be a point that opens and then bouncing back down again. But I'm seeing, past life records being activated. Moving really through the dark night of the soul into a mass ascension. You may feel quite squeezed and dizzy during that process, but your counterpart's energy, which again I'll say can swap. The burning off of the Kundalini can be a heating up in the spine, and I do feel, again, because throat chakra is coming through for me during this reading, I'm feeling as though there's clearing of guilt with communication. If I say this, how will it be received? Is there a consequence for my actions? How can I vibrationally communicate effectively without being punished? How did that punishment make me feel? There's a lot that wants to be said. But at the same time, it feels, you know, in finding peace, this burn off is they're purging and learning a different way of being, but definitely a manifestation of what you're wanting. Focus very heavily on what you want, because I do see within 3 weeks, 3 months. July is a very important time, and August I'm feeling for you guys. I'll pull 3 additional cards and then I will see you mid-month. If you are wanting to make a booking, you can go to the link. Okay, this is coming to a close. So old ways of being is coming to a close. You have it in reverse. You got mortality. Life is brief, bright, beautiful, and yours to live. Again, focus on the positive outcome, not the negative. Again, I'm seeing blue, and I'm hearing stone cold. And who's Demi Lovato sings it? Being left out in the cold, again, dark night of the soul. And I've always correlated dark night of the soul to the movie Event Horizon. So it may be when you were in that, you're reflecting back and you're really reflecting on being left out in the cold, but I do feel you guys are coming out of that. You're also not following down toxic paths into rabbit holes. I'm also seeing that you guys now are visually seeing things from a very different perspective. You're actually seeing flaws on your side and their side in duality, and you're having understanding that your process and their process, although unique and different, travels a similar path because we share that unique frequency. So yes, the past might not have been that great. But, you know, what's really going to anchor you in is that you can move through adversity together. There is a shy moment. I do feel they're making reference to something that happened that was a little bit embarrassing. And you're remembering back to that and you're thinking, hey, it wasn't that bad. But it's a memory. It could be a song that you hear that reminds you of that time, but I do feel as though any troubles that you've moved through separately or together is what's going to bind you. But I do feel 3. I keep saying 3 months, 3 weeks, 3 days, something in relation to 3, but you're also going to have 3 upgrades quite soon and 3 areas of life changing. 3, 3, 3. Pay attention to anything that Chiron is activating for you guys in a wounded sense, because I feel like you're going to assertively deal with it. And pay attention to the sun and moon videos that I do. I usually incorporate the sun energy into the moon phases when I do the videos. I think there's going to be a direct message in it for you when I release it. The reason I'm saying that is because we have the sun and the moon in the hangman position. And the way I get messages is very unique because I'm a psychic medium. I get my downloads very intuitively and psychically. So when I see cards in particular formats, I get direct messages and they're the way they directly communicate with me. A blockage of what you're experiencing, you need to have a look at the video, disconnect from your trigger points, and understand everything happens for a reason. That's the one message. When it comes to your achievements, don't undermine your achievements or undersell this connection because the connection's very, very unique. Know that you can have it on the 3D as well as the 5D. It may be the 5D is very disconnected at the moment, and that's why you're unaware of how spiritually ascended you have become. And again, I'm hearing time has moved. It's an infinite connection. Some of you might have had families and you're looking at how the dynamic is. Some of you want to have family and you're looking how the dynamic is. And you're wondering if that's able to be achieved. And I'm hearing yes. Again, within the search that you're feeling, within the heart chakra activation, You may feel very tied down by a family-related dynamic and feeling lost, confused, and lonely. Give it to universe to clear the chakra. And in an egoic sense, any pain you have connected to that, I'm seeing picture amethyst, picture purple light. Because I'm actually seeing the crown activation is on your head, providing you can step away from the pain body experience of what happened in the past. I do feel this is manifesting in. I'll check in with you mid-month and see how the energy is going. Love and light.